I'm sitting here with Karen Griffiths, who is the head gardener of Cregneash, a folk village here on the Isle of Man. Hi Karen, and thanks for having me.
Hi Tanya, lovely to have you.
So Cregneash is here to show people both on the Isle of Man and also visitors what life was like in the past. And there are tons of cottages here, there's farm animals, and also there's gardens around the cottages as well. Karen, what is the importance of the gardens here?
Well, obviously, when the crofters were here, they would have been incredibly important. If you didn't have a garden, you would have been reliant on swapping other things for veg. So if you were lucky enough, like Ned Begg, to have a fairly biggish garden, he would have been extremely lucky growing all sorts of things here. But most of the crops were actually grown in the fields. They probably would have grown soft fruits and things like rhubarb and that sort of thing in the gardens, with a few unusual vegetables, as in, you know, maybe some leeks and things like that.
So not the staples?
No. The turnips, potatoes, carrots would have been grown out in the fields. Cilla Platt, who I think you met quite a few years ago, they actually went about trying to do an awful lot of research into the old plants and things, and when they did a lot of replanting, they made sure that they used old varieties of like gooseberry and all that sort of thing that they know probably would have been grown here. I know Cilla found quite a few blackcurrant bushes that
survived from the past?
Very old, very
Wow.
old, yeah, and some gooseberries, and she took cuttings from those. So there are some that are just about still going.
Wow.
Yeah. But a lot of the medicinal herbs also.
Medicinal herbs, so people here also grew their own medicine.
They had to, yeah, they relied on that. So we've got lemon balm, which would have been used for upset stomachs.
And calming as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Evening primrose.
This is a woman's herb, isn't it?
It is. It's so beautiful. And still used extensively, isn't it, today?
It is.
And then lots of tansy in here. They used it as a dye for dyeing the wool. It's also used as a repellent for getting rid of flies and all that sort of thing. And I think they put it on the floor, but it's quite a strong smelling herb. Ooh, quite powerful. So you can understand why.
Oh yeah. It's almost, it has a kind of camphor in it.
It does. Over there we've got Saracen's woundwort. That was a little bit like the comfrey. It was for helping to heal bones. Soapwort.
And this has natural saponins in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So the root is the best bit, but actually you can, if you just snap a few leaves off and wet it, you can usually work up a lather. But you can also see how it's cleaning my hands. It is a fantastic cleaner. And they would have used that for washing clothes, washing themselves. They would have used as a shampoo. And all over cleaner for the house and everything. This plant is Greater Celandine. And as you can see, when you break it, it has this amazing yellow dye or orange dye, and they would have used this a lot if you had verrucas or a wart or something like that. Dab it on and it burns and gets rid of the verruca or wart. This is Weld. It's a very old traditional herb, and apparently it was brought over by the Vikings.
By the Vikings. What is it used for?
Mainly as a dyeing, for dyeing wool.
And is it a yellow colour?
Yeah, apparently it is really lovely. but we thought we'd lost it. We didn't have any, there wasn't any here last year. And then since we dug this over, which you wouldn't believe, we dug it over last year, and obviously the seeds were all there, and it just
it started growing again.
We've got the lovely Marshmallow. Not only is it a pretty flower, but it was also medicinal. So they made that into a little cough candy, and that helped with sore throats and coughs and colds, all that sort of thing. Valerian, that's a common valerian. It's not the valerian you see growing along the hedges. So this is the medicinal valerian that is great if you can't sleep, if you have insomnia. It just relaxes, and if you have anxiety and that sort of thing, it calms the nerves, and is still used extensively today. Still, I think this is a fabulous, absolutely lovely herb. So they would have used that instead of sugar. So they would have sweetened their gooseberries and their rhubarb using this, and you'd use every part of the plant, the stem, the root, the leaf, and then eventually the seeds. And the seeds, they're really aniseedy, so you could replace that for aniseed. It's really lovely. We're quite surprised at how many people, when they come, they don't realise they can walk around the gardens and explore the gardens. I think because quite a few of the houses have private, they tend to think, oh no, that's you can't go in there. So people are quite shocked when you say, come on in, you're allowed, have a walk around, sit and have a picnic, or, you know, just enjoy it. We try and plant for the birds and the bees and the butterflies, and yeah, the wildlife up here is really special. And this is our little area where we grow wildflowers. They're just annuals, we do it every year. That the bees love it, the pollinators love it, the birds love it when it's all gone to seed and they feed on the seeds, and the visitors love it. This was really put together to show people a lot of the gardens would have been like this if they had a big enough garden, but they would have been growing a bit of soft fruit, so you had some raspberries, gooseberries, bit of rhubarb, some veg, flowers and medicinal herbs, and you would have been really lucky to have had a garden this size. But it's lovely. Every time you dig this, it just releases new seeds and you get something new every single time, and I just love it. I'm into wildflowers, so trying to identify a new plant that I maybe have never seen before. I've seen it in a book but never seen it in actual life. But you can virtually guarantee you will get something come up in here that you might not have seen before, and it's just great.
So it's a bit of a museum in itself. The soil, it preserves past seeds.
Seeds can stay in the ground, you know, for hundreds of years, and it's just incredible.
Just want to say a huge thank you to Karen for having me here at Cregneash today, and also to Manx National Heritage. It's been fantastic walking around the gardens today, learning a little bit about the history of people who lived here, what they grew in their gardens, how they used it. And if you have any questions whatsoever about anything that you see in the video, please leave it as a comment below, and I will try to get back to you. I'll see if Karen can come over to the video and try to answer some questions as well. Thanks so much. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next week for another video here on the Lovely Greens YouTube channel. See you then.
Bye.
Come here. We've got a Manx cat. Hello, kitty.
Oh, I like you.
Oh, cat lady. Woo. Oh, didn't like that. Come here. Come Oh, that's a Manx cat there. That's a Stumpy. There's a special name. Oh, well, that's quite a view.